Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today we have quite the perplexing conundrum on our hands today. So a fellow by the name of Lugi Rulezz posted a video to YouTube and also shared it on the Warships subreddit showing off a supposed or potential bug on everyone's favorite Tier 9 premium American battleship, the Missouri. Of course, the focus of much attention over the past month or so in the game. Now, in his video, he showcases what is a potential bug dealing with one turret on the Missouri. And I'll play the clip from his video. I can't put the music up because I think he's got some music from another channel or permission to use this music, and I don't, so I don't want to get copyright strided. But please go check out his video in the description down below. He is the person who found this bug and brought it to our attention, so please go give him a like on his channel and a view on his channel too. A like and a view. Give him both, why don't you? So as you can see, there's something wacky going on with one turret on the Missouri. You can see I'm not sure if it's the first two turrets or the third turret. He doesn't show us a view of the ship firing when this happens, so I don't know which turret in particular it is. But you can see one set of shells arrives there at the usual velocity of the Missouri, and one seems to be lagging way behind, even potentially going higher in its arc. So that's very strange. And as he points out in his video, that's quite bad because that's a third of your firepower, and this ship is now being sold, of course, for $80 upon completion of the Pacific campaign. So a few observations about his Missouri. First off, he does not include his commander build in the video, and at the time of recording this audio, he doesn't include it in the description of his video or on Reddit or in the comments of either post, so there's no way I can be 100% for sure with his Missouri commander and module build. There are a couple of things that you can take away from his ship stats in game. First off, you can see the range is 27.1 kilometers, which is the range of the Missouri with the special American Dispersion and range mod, which I have on my Missouri. And he doesn't have any other major changes between his stats on his Missouri and my Missouri stats, so I think the builds are pretty similar, but I can't be 100% for sure until he releases his commander build. So Luigi, if you're watching, please comment down below what your commander build is, and I'll sit in a training room for 2 hours and test this like we did for this video. Well, about an hour in this video, but I'll sit in a training room and shoot at stuff for 2 hours to see if I can replicate this, if you can give me your exact commander build. But we went ahead and tried it out with what we have. Oh, a couple of other observations too. This does appear to be the quote-unquote old Missouri. By that, it is, I believe, the original Missouri, meaning he was an original owner of the Missouri from back in the day. In his port, he has the John Doe commander, which is what What's-His-Face's special commander turned into after the whole drama went down with him. Why can't I think of the dude's name? Man that was on Undersea. Steven Seagal. The one that, he used to be in the game, then some crap happened with him, so they changed his likeness and such, and yeah. So he does seem to have that commander. This does seem to be an original quote-unquote Missouri. Now, there's no difference between the original Missouri and the quote-unquote new Missouri in-game. It's the same ship. The old Missouri just has the special mission still attached to it through a combat mission to where you get the bonus in income. But who knows? That might have something to do with it. We don't know 100% for sure. But my Missouri is an old Missouri as well. It is not a Missouri that was purchased during the recent Pacific campaign event or through the random bundle. So same thing going on there. As far as I can tell, commander builds are potentially the same. He has a 19-point commander. I have a 21-point commander. I have Halsey on mine. He has John Doe on his. And again, as far as I can tell, the commander builds do seem to be pretty similar, but of course they aren't 100% the same, but I can't be sure of what he has on his because he hasn't released that information just yet. So this is as close as I can get right now with the information I have available to me to test this. So that being said, I went in a training room with myself, Explode, Redneck, and Ocean. Ocean was spotting the target ships for us, and I brought along Redneck in an Iowa and Explode in a North Carolina, so we could go ahead and test those ships as well. Because my theory is that some way, shape, or form, I don't know how in the world this happens, One of the turrets on the Missouri is bugged to have the parameters of a North Carolina turret. Because if you look at the shells in his clips, the way they're lagging behind, it seems that it's being fired out of one of North Carolina's 45 caliber guns rather than the 50 caliber guns of the Missouri, the caliber being the length of the barrel. North Carolina has a shorter barrel, so it has less velocity than the Iowa class, which has a longer 50 caliber barrel. So I think that may be the issue. So we sat in this training room. We went through actually several training rooms, and I fired at this absolute wall of curve first you have here. There's no audio because we were, of course, talking and stuff, and I don't think you want to hear four of us being monkeys trying to test this out at the same time, so I'll throw in some background music here as well while these clips play. So we did this for an hour, and I could not get this bug to be replicated. We tried it on stationary targets, we tried it on moving targets. Then after this too, I went into random battles and played and recorded as I went along, and I could not replicate this bug. So that being said, is this potentially some really bad RNG? From what I've seen in his video, and again, it's a really short video, it's only about 2 minutes and 5 seconds long, and he doesn't really show much beyond the 2 salvos and then 1 or 2 shots in the training room, where it does seem to be still happening in the training room. It doesn't seem like it's RNG, because the Missouri has pretty consistent dispersion. It's, sometimes it's all over the place, but the American battleships are known for having consistent dispersion. Not necessarily good dispersion, but consistent, and every now and then you do get the god roll with the guns to where you have kind of a freedom fist that hits the target. So it doesn't seem to be RNG in my opinion, because it's way too out of line for the American battleships, and I've played a lot of American battleships. I have about, I think, 1.6 million free XP on my Missouri currently, and I've had, of course, more than that at one point in time, just between, of course, converting free XP and stuff to get like research bureauship and stuff. I think I had like 6 million on my GK at one point in time. I think I'm down to 4 million right now because of that. But anyway, I've played a lot of American battleships. You guys know this. I am a filthy BB main. So this isn't American battleship dispersion. It could be like the one-off every 100 salvo absolute garbage RNG roll, but the shells shouldn't lag behind like that. They could go flying, way off to the left or way off to the right. That would be RNG. But the shells lagging behind shouldn't occur. They should all travel at the same speed toward the target. It's not like they can accidentally only put in 2 powder bags instead of 3 in the game, They're still traveling at the same velocity. So that's my theory, that whatever happened, somehow, I didn't know you could do this to a single turret in this game. I thought all the turrets were coded the same on the ship. One of these Missouri turrets somehow got slipped up with some type of code to be a North Carolina turret. That's the theory right now. But from my testing, I cannot replicate it until Luigi gives us his full commander build. If he gives us the full commander build and module build, like I said, I will sit in a training room for hours trying to replicate this. And it doesn't look like, from what he showed us, it should be very hard to replicate, because he got it 2 times back to back in his video. And then even in the training room, he didn't fire at a target far away, but he fired at a target pretty close, and as he says, it's not as noticeable, but it is for sure still there. And that's North Carolina's thing. North Carolina, from mid to close range, it's fine. But when you get out there, it's really, really, really hard to shoot at like 24 kilometers plus because of how slow the shells are. And of course, because of the velocity of the shells, they're much slower than the Iowa and the Montana and the Missouri shells. Not that those shells are fast by any stretch of the imagination out at 25 plus kilometers. So it seems for the time being there is a bug with the Missouri that, with potentially some type of commander build, is occurring. If you guys have had this bug before, able to replicate this bug, please post your build in the comments down below. And again, Luigi, if you're watching this, which I really hope you do, let me know what your build is, so we can replicate this, find out what's wrong with it, and then maybe we're going to go patch it in 2 months. But yes, this is a huge problem. Just like with the torpedo bug from yesterday. It's going to affect people's performance in game if they somehow stumble upon whatever build that he's running that this occurs on, which I don't really know what commander skills could be affecting this, because again, as far as I can tell, we're using the same gun modules, which is the range mod and then the special artillery platoon mod 2, which gives you the 11% boost to the dispersion from that the American battleships get. That's just special to them. So theoretically, everything that affects the guns in terms of accuracy, we should have the same on in terms of modules, unless there's some commander skill that and again, I don't know how this would throw it back to the North Carolina's dispersion, if my theory is true. Or 2, it could be lag. I don't know. He seems to have decent ping. It's worth noting that the first clip that he shows isn't a replay. It's him recording a screen. When it's a replay, the ping always says -32, but when it's a replay, it'll show the actual ping, and he's got about 100 ping, and it goes up and goes down, but certainly nothing that should be causing this levels of lag. And again, I don't know which server he's on either, so it might be having something to do with that. I don't know, but as far as I can tell, I can't replicate it. And again, if you're here, Luigi, let me know what your commander build is so we can go ahead and test that out. So guys, just be aware there's a potential bug. Again, nothing's proven just yet with the Missouri. Again, if this has happened to you guys, post your builds down below so we can see if we can get to the bottom of this and see what the heck is going on with the Missouri. It is interesting to note that this is coming up right now after the devs just messed with the code to fix the torpedo bug, although I'm not 100% sure how the torpedo bug's code that got fixed and caused another problem with the code to get the torpedo bug that we talked about yesterday, but then now is affecting a single turret on the Missouri. I mean, I guess it's true, you fix one line of code and 3 more break. Coding's out of my league, okay? Like, I know it's tricky. It's possible that it did this, but this certainly needs to get fixed as fast as possible, along with the torpedo bug that we talked about yesterday. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. And again, if you experienced it, let us know what your build is so we can get to the bottom of this. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 30,000 subs. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're all having a wonderful Tuesday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.